My new Psycho Talk with again one of the amazing personalities that I can get on board. And this is going to be really fun, full of knowledge, and whatnot. Means like it's a long list. So before we start, so here I am asking you, how was your last weekend? And if you're having any crazy stories with you, do drop them or message us. We'll definitely share them up. Yes. Okay. So I'm just waiting for our speaker to join in. Yes. Okay. Hello. Let me send the request to him to join. Okay. Hi Param, I cannot send you the request to join. Yeah, now it's there. Perfect.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I am so happy to have you. Thank you so much. How are you, Param?
Happy to be here. Is there an internet glitch?
Maybe I hope it will work better now.
Let me just check.
Yes. Okay, let me come back. See, we are going to have some interesting talks today. Okay, there is huge internet issue, I think. Okay, I am waiting for him to join in.
Okay, are we better
Hi.
now?
It's better, yes. Thank you so much for joining, Param. I would like to thank you first for accepting our
It's a
request
pleasure.
and giving us your time.
It's a pleasure to be here actually.
So let me give a brief introduction about Param to everyone. Param is basically he's the founder and director to Startup Nation. You can see the beautiful logo at his back. So yes,
Oh
he's
yes.
the director and yes, that's a very nice one. Apart from it, he is the co-chairman to startup committees like PhD Chambers Punjab. And Param is an avid reader. Marketing and business is just like the other, I would say, the commands of this personality. And he's a traveler, he's a believer, and whatnot. And Param, I think you are like master of all trades, doing so many things, and this is going to be really amazing.
Well, I'm already excited about this talk. I don't know. why I'm feeling, I'm getting that very vibrant vibe about this concept. But that's too much of praise for me actually. So maybe if you can
I
ask
think
me
that's
some.
too less of it. I feel that's too less of it.
No, no, no. So maybe if you
Okay,
throw
Param.
me some bouncers in the form of questions, and let's see how I
I will.
handle it.
I love to do that, and I'll definitely do. My friends call me question box, and here I am all ready to shoot them. So this is just the basic introduction that how people know who is Param. But I would like to know from you who is Param.
So first, I'd like to know, what do people know? Is it
Like
good or bad?
some of the brief. No, no, no. It's really good. We all, I think, praise you a lot and we admire you a lot. So yeah, apart from all these things that people know you do professionally and some of your traits and all these things, but who is actually Param? What is that hidden angle, that crazy angle?
So I think I'm all sorts of crazy. I'm more of a person of variations. So if you put me in a group of intellectuals, I'm an intellectual. If you put me in a group of solo travelers, who talk about solo traveling, I'm a solo traveler. If you put me on the road protesting for something, I'm a protester. So I'm all sorts of variations, and I really love it. So basically, that's actually come from all the life that I've seen in last 30 years, and I've tried to do every bit and piece here and there. So that's how I grew up, and that's how maybe my parents wanted me to be. They wanted me to see every bit of the society and every rug of it. So that's how it is. I've lived in the most shabbiest of the hostels, and I've lived in the most luxurious of the places. So I'm all sorts of variation, and I love it that way. I adjust anywhere. So you put me anywhere, I'll just adjust.
So I can say that you already had all the flavors of life, and we are Punjabi, so we'll connect everything to food. So you have already done your buffet. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Sorry, I
Or is it like a
voice was
little
breaking
gap?
a bit. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I was saying you already had all the flavors done with you, and as a Punjabi, I can say you are done with your buffet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm already loving it, and I think there's still a lot to see. Being a Punjabi, I haven't been to Canada yet, so I think there's still a lot to see. And
That's nice.
otherwise, as well, I think life is all about randomness every day. So you just need to find that right spot. So what we do is we just limit our lives in a particular shell. So I generally go with the flow. I don't keep myself limited to a shell. So if tomorrow someone says let's go here and let's go there, I'm generally up for it. So because I believe in randomness, I believe in going with the flow, and I think that's how you experience the best of your lives.
So always in that yes mind.
Yes, I am in.
Okay, so I would take my personal question over here right now. So even sometimes I'm in a yes mind and I say yes to so many things just like that, right? And many of the people I think of our age, they tend to do it ki farak panda type. Oh, we'll see, dekhange. So
करके देख
any
लो.
any करके देख लेना है ना? So Param, any specific instance happened that you did just in the moment and you regretted it?
I think there may be a lot, but I haven't. I'm not a person of regrets, so I take it as an experience, and I just go with it, and I just try to learn out of every situation, even if it's good or bad, mostly bad. So I just learn out of the situation, and I just move on, and I'm like, ठीक है, HOV को बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिल गया, so I shape my life according to that, and I just move forward. There have been many instances where जैसे पंगा ले लिया and बाद we were like यार कि गलत काम हो गया, but they have. I mean, there are some which I cannot disclose, obviously, and one of them was getting tattooed. I really didn't want to get tattooed in my life, so one of my friends said it's Friendship's Day, let's go and have a tattoo. मैं कहा चलो, as usual I was in for it. and I just got a tattoo, and later it turned out to be a really bad tattoo, and I I was like, "Okay, yaar, थोड़ा
You can't remove
जल्दी
it
बनवा
yet.
लेते, रुक के बनवा लेते." So I was like that. This is one of the instances, otherwise nothing major as sort, because I really love when things come to you naturally, because you attract the things that you desire. So somewhere
True
in
that.
your subconscious, yeah, somewhere in your subconscious, you already have those things, and you just need to attract those things, and that's how it works.
So nice. That's so true. That's so true. And Param, like coming to your startup nation, it's just like here it's a complete trend of like entrepreneurship, people coming up with their own thought process of doing their own business or like freelancing and all. And here you are, where you are giving a platform to all the entrepreneurs. Now this is maybe a different level, right? So how this thought came to you, or like is this um, is like क्या ये ऐसा ही था कि आपको हमेशा से करना था? You always wanted to do this only.
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I come from a business family, and from that business family as well, I think so. Me, my brother, sister were all different. My brother always, wanted something different, and I always wanted to be in business. I used to go with my father when I was in grade sixth or seventh, and I used to explore how he does all that civil work. He was a civil contractor all his life, so I used to explore with him, working with laborers and working with his staff and all that. So I used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I was when I was always in school itself. So I really enjoyed that, and I think I always wanted to be a businessman and entrepreneur, and I always had this urge to explore something more. And the thing that lacked in previous times was there was no mentor, there was no consultant, there was no one who could actually show you the way of how to start and how to go about some simple basics. But I was blessed to have very good mentors in my life, and I think I'm taking forward the same thing. There are some things that are very basic, like opening a bank account or opening your company, getting through a CA's door. Some things are quite basic and nobody tells you. So I think we try to provide the same things to people, and it's just a small nudge that keeps them engaged and gives them this small push to go forward and become amazing entrepreneurs. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And I think people is like they are basic, but most of the people do struggle on these points as well. They do struggle on these.
Struggle.
So,
We all struggle. I think it's just on us how we accept that. Otherwise, we all struggle. There's nothing. I mean, even if you are in a sarkari job, you have to struggle every day. You have to keep your
true
job
that.
safe. Now, people say sarkari job में ना आपको सैलरी आती रहती है हर महीने, चाहे आप जितनी मर्जी छुट्टियां मारो. But to sustain that salary, you have to do a lot of chamchagiri. That's also involved. So there are a lot of things involved. I mean, you have to get into that office, sarkari politics to sustain through, and keep your job safe until आपका transfer हो, until आपकी retirement हो. So there's struggle in everything. Even look at these vendors, street vendors, how much the amount of struggle they do every day. I think हमारे में तो इतना struggle है ही नहीं. हमारी आजकल, as my father says, कि struggle तो हमारे टाइम पे होती थी. आपके तो आप तो 4 बटन दबाते हो और आपकी स्ट्रगल खत्म हो जाती है.
शर्म आ जाती है.
So I think this is true for all of us. We just press some keys and write an email, shoot an email to somewhere, and our work gets done. So I think struggle is everywhere. It's just how you see it and how you perceive it.
True. And from here only, I am able to remember something that my father told me. So he says कि पंजाबी से कहते हैं कि बेटा अकल ना बादाम खा के नहीं आंदी अकल धक्के खा के आंदी है. So
Exactly.
that's something, yeah. So struggles and all. So from here only, I have this question in mind for you. Um, like you said, your family, your brother, and everything started just like the initial days. So how was your childhood?
I'm sorry. What's the question?
How was your childhood? Anything specific that you remember from your childhood days? कि यार मैं कितना सी like related to your specifically the things that you are doing now. Any particular
My
instance you remember?
childhood. It was good. You've taken me a lot back in time. It was a mixed adventure, I would say.
Hmm.
जैसे मैं अभी हूँ वैसे ही मैं चाइल्डहुड में था. So I was academic, yet very shararti. I was the one whom teachers didn't like at all, but I was the one who used to top the examinations as well. So I was a mix of everything, you know. And in my school life, I was more about extracurricular activities. I used to bunk schools, classes in school. I mean, people used
School,
to do it
not
in
colleges.
colleges,
Am
but
I right?
yes, I used to
Oh,
bunk classes in school.
mhm.
And
That's interesting. And how good can you manage that? Because school तो
so
था
I'll tell you.
घर के सीधा school, school से घर.
No, no, no,
How
no.
did you
I'll tell you.
manage that?
Not outside the school. I had this feature where I could bunk my classes by staying within the school. So I had some teachers, जिनका my favorite था, due to all these extracurricular activities and stuff, you know. So sometimes I was very close to certain teachers, and they used to treat me like their own kid, like their own son, you know, these Punjabi teachers and stuff. So and the school was not like anyone could bunk and go anywhere. It was quite strict atmosphere there. So I could bunk my classes. I could go to those teachers and sit in their classes. They were teaching sixth grade, and I was in eighth or tenth grade, and I could sit there. So I used to do all kinds of stuff. So I used to experiment के bunk करके school में कैसे रह जाता है and कितना आप बाहर ना जाके भी school च रह सके. So all sorts of things. And there used to be complaints, obviously, to my parents from teachers. And in the end, they would say, otherwise, बाकी तो सारा कुछ ठीक है, बस थोड़ी ये शरारतां बहुत करता है. Otherwise, he exams वगैरह जो आते थे, I used to be held serious and I used to be in the top fives always.
Nice. So this all sounds very goody goody and always up, huh? So, but still, that like we talked about hurdles, I have this question in mind for you. What is like, what keeps you up? What keeps you up to do your work? What is your motivation that keeps you running for your dreams, your passion?
I think your goal should be big enough to keep you running. If your goals are small, they are achievable within a year. So I follow this procedure actually. I'll tell you. So this I heard from Warren Buffett, and he said, you know, you need to finalize 25 things in your life that you need to do in the next couple of years. So
Mm-hmm.
then you prioritize your 25 goals that these are the 5 things I can do in the next 1 year or short-term goals. So then you prioritize those 5 goals, and you just delete all the other remaining 20 goals because those are the only 5 you can do in the next 1 year. So, but I keep those remaining 20 goals always in my life. So there are these goals that are always in my subconscious. You know, I need to achieve this. I need to do this. And when you are an entrepreneur, you got no dearth of challenges every day. You know, so every day I wake up, there are a couple of challenges lying that need to be fought. So I have to, pull myself up and reach the office and fight those challenges. So that's what keeps me going. And otherwise, life is beautiful if you keep working towards your goals and you keep achieving them one by one. And God has been very graceful. So I think it's a very beautiful journey. Otherwise, so you just have to keep yourself roaring and up for everything.
Wow, that's amazing. And from here only, where I say like people are coming as entrepreneurs, and you are giving a platform where entrepreneurs come to you. Like your business setup is something like that. And I was also being into like I was having my setup into a co-working space only. And in that short span of like hardly 7 8 months, I have seen new businesses coming up and closing as well, right? So any particular advice or motivation or tip that you want to give all our budding entrepreneurs will be great.
So I think the businesses that shut in the first year or so, they're basically not formed up right. The brainstorming is not done right, or the basis of that business model is not done right. So what I always tell entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, is that your business model should be strong enough to sustain you at least a couple of years, and then you can modify or pivot later. So that's what majorly missing. And we have this business model architecture that we give to everyone. Just fit in your idea in this business model, and you will understand if this will work for the next couple of years or no. and that's as simple as that, a cookie cutter thing. So it's basically lack of knowledge that I have this idea, uska idea chal pada, mera kyun nahi chala. So it's basic, it's very basic. तो जनरली क्या होता है कॉलेजेस में, मैं भी जाता हूँ, आई एम इनवाइटेड इन कॉलेजेस टू interact with the young upcoming entrepreneurs. So I see कि मेरे पास ये आइडिया है, I have this idea in mind which is written on a chart paper right now and I need funding for this. So जो वो feeding हो रही है ना colleges से, that's absolutely wrong. And I've been stopped from entering any college right now because I've spoken on their podiums very frankly and boldly कि आपको college गलत पढ़ा रहे हैं इस मामले में, because college is not the one who teaches you entrepreneurship. I think outside the world lies and is ready to teach you entrepreneurship if you just step out and understand what's happening. So वो बच्चे मेरे साथ directly link तो हो जाते हैं, but वो college मेरी entry ban कर देता है उसके बाद. So so this is what happens. And this is the sheer truth. I go to this one college I won't name. It's in Tri-City only, and they do this entrepreneurship championship every year, and they invite me as a judge. Now what do I judge there? I go there, I see chart papers lying on the wall, and I have to judge them on the basis of the idea that's written over there. And what does the college do? The top three position gets 5 lakh each to start their own business around that idea written on the chart paper. Yes, because they're being funded by the government, and that's how they are spoiling people's kids. I mean, this is not the way you do it. So उनके साथ तो मैं लड़ के आता काफी टाइम पहले.
No, that's actually true. Like how our education system is there. So yeah. Hello.
Sorry, I think there was a glitch.
Yes. So I was just saying ki yes, that's so true. Like how our education system is there, and all the flaws are there into the picture.
Yeah. So that's mostly about the education system, I feel. I think entrepreneurship is one thing you cannot teach in a normal brick and mortar classroom. People have to come out. People have to, get their hands dirty. And बाकी जो बचा है वो ये वेब सीरीज गलत सिखा देती हैं. दे शो स्टार्टअप लाइक के बहुत कूल ऑफिस है, वहाँ पे बीन बैग पड़े हुए हैं, पिज्जा ऑर्डर हो जाता है, शाम को बियर खुल जाती है. दिस इज व्हाट entrepreneurship is. But
Yes.
what people don't know is you have to do everything from a PM to president. You have to pick up your own cups and you have to wash your own utensils, because you can't afford to have a PM. You can't afford to have a anyone who can help you. So it's not only about the fancy things. So this is a very wrong perception that is being taught to young entrepreneurs. And लोग सोचते हैं ये चीज cool है, आजकल आजकल चल रही है, ट्रेंड में चल रही है, इसलिए
Your
इसको
own
ज्वाइन
boss.
कर लेते हैं. Be your own boss, man. But believe me, you become your own boss after 5 years. You don't become your own boss after a month or so, because you don't have anything to pay to your employees. So how can you become a boss? I mean, we started taking out salaries out of Startup Nation when we were 3 years old in the business. पहले 3 साल we didn't take any money out of Startup Nation. That's the persistence that's required. अब आप बोलो कि पहले महीने मैंने तो जी बीन बैग्स भी रख लिए थे, पिज्जा भी ऑर्डर कर लिया था, आई वाज वर्किंग ऑन द स्कूल बिजनेस मॉडल, और वाई कॉम्बिनेटर के साथ एक दो ईमेल्स मेरी शेयर हो गई थी, तो आई थिंक माय आइडिया इज वर्किंग. So this is not how it works, because people around you don't know what your business is, what your industry is. It's you who has to get down and get your hands dirty around all this.
That's so true, Param, and I completely agree with you. Me, being one of the entrepreneurs, how I started my journey, and it's completely honest thing that Param has shared everyone. Because if I share my experience, it's same with me. Right from the peon to the boss, I have done everything. So right from driving the car to like if I say I had that social media agency, so from designing the post to delivering the post, I have done everything. You are the boss also, and you are the doer also. So nobody comes up with all these challenges, and that's important because we have to speak about our challenges also apart from our perks. We work on
Exactly.
Sundays,
Let me
we
tell you
work
a
late
secret.
nights.
Yeah. Let me tell you a secret. I still design my own creatives for marketing. There's no one who does that for me. So there are quite a lot of small micro operations that you keep doing, and that's how a startup is made. That's why we call ourselves a startup. Otherwise, I would have come to office every day, sat on a luxury chair, and went back home giving orders and writing emails to people. This is not how it works. This is what eventually you need to achieve. Now, a dream of every CEO is to sit on that chair one day finally, where he can manage the show, and even if he's missing from the office for 20 days and everything keeps running fine and revenues keep flowing, and that happens after a certain amount of time. But it's not that happens right from the first month or first year or a couple of years for sure.
But I would add up here, like these struggles and challenges are the real beauty that had made me to grow and enjoy my work more.
Yeah,
So if you love to have the challenges and struggles, you will enjoy this journey.
exactly. That's how it works.
So this is like you choose your struggles. That's how I portray it. Because every industry, every profession, if you really want to excel and do good, is having its own set of struggles. So you choose your struggles and be with it.
That's how it works.
Yes. Okay. So
Some days you
like
you
book.
really feel you were not into entrepreneurship and you were doing something else. Some days you really feel like quitting, and you're like, "Yeah, kal se ye nahi karna yaar. I'm done with this." And it's been a lot of time I've been putting efforts and nothing's coming out. So there are days like that. You become a lot emotional when you are an entrepreneur. We've seen Sarkari Babu sitting at their seat and not being emotional at all. जितनी मर्जी बड़ी line लगी हो उनके आगे. So that's because because they don't struggle like entrepreneurs do. Of course, they have their own set of struggles, but and as an entrepreneur, you become emotional. That's what happens as well because you have to decide everything on your own. You don't have anyone to decide for you, and you don't have a plethora of people working for your own.
Okay. So let me touch your reader part also. Okay. So we talked about like the mentorship thing and you being a reader, you are an avid reader. And here I would like to add like when I started knowing more about entrepreneurship because I always wanted to do the business on my own. Like I am also from the business background only. So this is was in me also कि मुझको हमेशा से यही करना है, खुद का काम करना है. But I was never a reader. Okay.
Okay.
I was never a reader, so these are the habits I am probably developing with me, and now I'm having 4 5 books always on my table, reading, trying things out, and you being a avid reader now. So people like me or budding entrepreneurs, they want to know how do you read and what is like your way of reading, and how do you get time to read and learn more things.
So I think you've got to read everything. It's not that there's one genre that you need to read, or you only read biographies and entrepreneurship books. Me personally, I think I read everything. I'm quite interested in history. I'm quite interested in Indian history, regional history, then how the best biographies of the world were made when those people were alive. So any topic basically. So it's all about opening up your mental and intellectual exposure. So when you talk about
True.
opening up your intellectual exposure, you don't stick to a genre. You need to read a lot. One, it helps you to actually see the world through the books and the world that has been mostly in the past. If you don't read fiction much, so I personally don't like fiction much because I think there's a lot of real life stories that are still left to be read in this world. So
Mhm.
once I'm done with all the real life stories and non-fiction, then I'll get to fiction. So otherwise, there's anything. I've recently read a book on Guru Nanak, uh, which is written by a Muslim writer. He's not a Sikh or a Hindu. So that gave me a very liberal view about Guru Nanak. So the book is Walking with Nanak, and it was amazing how this guy crafted all the great journey of Guru Nanak. around Pakistan and all that area, and how he, dug up facts. It's not just about what we've been listening all our lives about Guru Nanak and all the miracles that he did, but how he dug up all the actual facts and how he created a kind of soft controversy around all the stories that were written in the past. I've read The Art of War. I've read the 40 Rules of Love, which is about Rumi and Shams of Tabriz, which is again a set of saints from the Middle East. Then I've read Ikigai recently. A lot
That's
of
very nice.
any
The
such books.
Japanese one. That's interesting. Any particular one book that you would refer to all the fellow entrepreneurs to go with? One book, a must
I
read.
think Ikigai is one book I'll like to refer because that's kind of in fashion right now, and that actually answers a lot of questions about how you plan your life. So
Hmm.
that is one good book. And if I talk about entrepreneurs, I think most of them already know that a very basic Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or Think and Grow Rich. These are very basic entrepreneurship books which every entrepreneur needs to read once for sure. So these are very basic. Otherwise, Ikigai is something that gives you a perspective of how to move forward in life. Not only about entrepreneurship, how to plan your life on the whole. So I think it's as someone is saying in the comments,
Sam has
Sam.
mentioned.
He's an old friend, Sam.
Yes.
So yes, it's a great
Yeah, it's a
exercise.
great.
So and that has to be done once for life. It's once for life, and you just need to do it, and you keep following all those steps that you have learned. So that's one recommendation for sure.
Okay. So one thing that you would like to say to all the ones who are entering into profession right now, who are going to choose any profession, one particular advice that you have for all.
That's actually very hard. I think so. It depends if you are in the right profession or no. If you are, if you wanted to be an actor and you are a cricketer, it depends on that. If you were, if you wanted to be some hotshot engineer after doing your BTech, but you land up doing a data entry job. So I cannot motivate them all for sure. But first of all, you need to find the right profession for you. I think that's very important because otherwise you'll not be able to sustain because there'll be times not in every profession, even if you're a doctor, you are a lawyer, there'll be times when you'll have to fight with the odds and sustain in your profession. Will quit first. So first of all, you need to understand that what's the best profession for you, and will you stick to your profession in hard times and rough times uh, that may come in your line, or will you just be the first one to exit? And is your profession giving you a work-life balance? That's very important. We just forget in the initial years when you are 20, 22, 27. We just forget work-life balance because that's not the priority at that time. But I think that's very much important. You need to feel relaxed in your mind at the end of the day. That's the only thing that matters. I mean, you may be after money all your life, you may be after achieving great success all your life. Now it happened with me as well. When I was 20, I used to when I was 21, sorry, and I just started, I used to work 18 hours a day. There were days I used to work 20 hours a day. So these are like different timelines of your life. But now I feel, if working efficiently for 8 hours a day after all this experience gives me the same amount of, output, then what's the point working 18 hours a day? And, when you have people around you to work with you, and when you are at a level when other people are helping you out in your journey, I think it's more important that you have a taste of your personal ambitions and your personal life as well. So it's all about work life balance in the end. Initial years you can put your extra effort and hard your hard emotions all in your work, but at the end of the day your emotions, your personal life, it matters a lot, and you need to keep that balance.
Wow. You have actually given the answer for my next question also. In this precisely, I was about to ask you like what's success for you.
So look,
So if you want to
that's how
add
I save
anything
time.
to this,
That's how I save time and work 8 hours a day now. That's how I
that's
imagine.
what I experienced. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. That was amazing. I don't know how the half an hour have passed. And this was so wonderful, and I think I can have some more questions for you. But we'll definitely catch up again. And thank you so much, Param. Thanks a lot for giving us the time and sharing this all your experiences with us. And I'm so sure that this will definitely help someone out. So this was
Thank
this
you so
week's
much. Thanks
Psycho
for having
Talk.
me here. And I think I really enjoyed it. Initially, I was asking you on the phone, is it going to be like Arnab Goswami, some muchar like me starts talking and you'll shut me down and say, Param,
No,
Param,
no,
no,
no.
just.
Answer me. Nation wants to know. Like startup nation.
But I think it was quite fun. And the questions was something different from what people ask me generally, but I really loved it. And let's talk soon again.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you all, to all the viewers for being with us. We'll be coming next week also with some another interesting speaker. Thank you, Param. Thanks again. And
Bye everyone.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye.